The Galactic Command headquarters was a city of metal and light, orbiting a blue giant star at the edge of the Orion Arm. From its grand observatory dome, countless fleets could be seen gliding through the void, sleek ships from 100 species, their hulls glimmering with ancient insignias. The command had existed for over 10 millennia, maintaining fragile peace among civilizations older than Earth itself. For centuries, humanity had been a junior member of this council, young, unpredictable, curious, and often underestimated. That would soon change. At the center of the chamber, Grand Strategist Valar of the Threxian Dominion spoke with the calm authority of someone who had seen countless wars. His voice echoed through the hall as he addressed the assembled delegates. We gathered to discuss the sudden interference in the Drazil expanse. The human fleet entered without authorization. Reports suggest they deployed a new drive technology, one unregistered by command law. The air thickened with unease. Among the towering insectoids, crystalline beings, and energy-based species, a lone human stood calmly. Commander Raylan Holt, representative of Earth's United Stellar Directorate, wore a uniform of silver and deep blue, his gaze unwavering. Humans claim they've achieved faster-than-light phase transition, Valar continued. That is impossible. No drive can surpass the limit set by the fabric of subspace. The last civilization that tried collapsed their own star system. Raylan waited until the murmurs died. With respect, Grand Strategist, he said evenly, the human drive does not break the laws of physics. It redefines how we understand them. That statement rippled across the chamber like thunder. The crystalline envoy of the Virel Accord leaned forward, light refracting through its form. Explain, Commander. You mean to say your species has rewritten natural law itself? Raylan gave a small nod. We discovered that what the command considers the speed barrier is not a universal constant. It's a threshold of perception, an error built into the sensors of every civilization that has ever studied subspace. We learned that light speed was not the limit of movement but the limit of comprehension. The room fell silent. Even the ambient hum of the quantum translators seemed to pause. Valar narrowed his eyes. You expect us to believe your kind, who only joined the galactic stage 4 centuries ago, found what 10,000 years of research could not. Raylan stepped forward, placing a compact holoprojector on the council table. I don't ask you to believe, strategist. I ask you to see. The hologram burst to life, an image of a human vessel gliding through an impossible corridor of warped starlight. Space itself appeared to bend backward, folding over like a mirror folding onto itself. The ship vanished, then reappeared on the opposite side of the galaxy in less than a heartbeat. Gasps erupted around the hall. That's not FTL, murmured the Virel envoy. That's bypassing spatial locality. Raylan's voice remained steady. We call it the resonance drive. It uses quantum harmonic displacement, aligning the ship's atomic lattice to the resonant frequency of the universe itself. Instead of moving through space, we shift our existence to a point where our frequency matches our destination. Valar slammed his clawed hand against the console. Blasphemy against natural order. That technology could destabilize reality itself. Raylan met his glare. We've tested it across 5 sectors. No anomalies. No subspace ruptures. Only results. Behind Valar, murmurs of astonishment filled the air. For ages, the Galactic Command had feared experimentation with the limits of subspace. The memory of the Cyrith collapse, an entire civilization wiped out when their prototype drive imploded spacetime, was a scar in galactic memory. But humans had done the unthinkable and survived. Then came the first report. A Drazil patrol ship, stationed near the border of the expanse, had recorded the human fleet disappearing into nowhere and reappearing directly above the orbital shipyard of the Sivran Collective, 40,000 light-years away. They had not used any recognized FTL corridor. They had not left a warp trail. It was instantaneous. The command spiraled into uproar. Dozens of species demanded the immediate seizure of human technology. Others wanted to study it. Some even whispered of war. Within hours, Galactic Command's peace fractured. The political web that had bound empires for ages began to tremble. The Threxians called for a blockade of Sol. The Virel insisted on neutrality. The Drazil proposed open investigation, and through it all, Commander Raylan stood alone against the storm. When the council recessed, Raylan walked through the corridors of the orbital citadel. Outside the viewport, fleets of alien ships patrolled with growing tension. He knew the news would spread beyond the chamber. Within a week, the entire galaxy would know what humanity had done. On Earth, the resonance drive had been developed in secrecy beneath the lunar research array. The scientists behind it were not soldiers or prophets, but thinkers who dared to ask what everyone else believed impossible. They had built the first drive from scraps of theory and intuition, guided by a strange human habit, imagination. While ancient civilizations had spent ages perfecting their stability, humans had pursued the unknown with reckless hope. To them, failure was not a curse, it was data. Every disaster had taught them something new. Every limit had been a challenge to overcome. Now that restless curiosity had shaken the galaxy. As tension grew, the command's intelligence network reported troubling news. Fleets from rival empires were mobilizing, each trying to intercept or capture a human resonance core. The command feared a spiral into galactic war. But the humans were prepared. On the edge of Sol space, a vast armada waited. Thousands of ships, each smaller and less elegant than the grand vessels of the elder races, stood in formation. What they lacked in size, they made up for in coordination. Every ship was synchronized by a shared quantum field, linking human minds through neural resonance. They called it the collective network, not for control but for unity. In the command chamber, Valor confronted Raylan again. "You must surrender the technology. It is too dangerous to remain in the hands of a single world." Raylan's answer was calm, almost sorrowful. "You misunderstand us. We didn't create the resonance drive for conquest. We created it because the stars were too quiet. We wanted to see what was beyond the silence." Valor's tone darkened. "Your invention threatens the balance of all known space." Raylan met his gaze. Maybe balance isn't what the galaxy needs anymore. That single sentence became the spark that ignited everything. Armadas assembled. Worlds fortified. Old alliances fractured as fear of human unpredictability spread. Yet when fleets finally entered Sol space, they found no aggression. No human ships fired first. Instead, humanity opened every communication channel, broadcasting the same message in 1,000 tongues. "We offer no war. We offer the map." The message contained what no civilization had ever shared freely, the complete blueprint of the resonance drive. Panic turned to disbelief. The galaxy had assumed humans would hoard their discovery for power, but instead they gave it away. When questioned, Raylan answered only, "Knowledge caged is peace delayed. The universe grows by the courage to understand." It took months for the command to absorb the implications. The resonance technology spread like wildfire. Species that had once viewed each other as enemies now shared research and debated new theories. Yet not all embraced the gift. Some feared that the drive would erode control, that the order built over millennia would crumble. Meanwhile, deep in uncharted regions, something else stirred. The human experiments had awakened dormant anomalies, echoes of civilizations long vanished. Strange distortions appeared at the edges of known space, places where time folded upon itself. Explorers reported voices from distant futures and lights that sang like thought. When command scientists investigated, they realized these distortions were not tears but signatures, imprints of countless possible realities brushing against each other. The resonance drive had not merely crossed distance, it had brushed the boundaries between dimensions. And the humans had gone further still. A transmission reached the command one cycle later. It came from a human vessel designated Pathfinder 1. Its coordinates were impossible, registered outside the boundaries of the physical galaxy. Raylan's voice came through the signal, steady but filled with awe. "We found something beyond the edge. Structure not built by any hand we know. It's older than time as we measure it, and it's resonating with our frequency." The message ended there. No further transmissions were received. The command was thrown into turmoil once more. Some believed the humans had perished. Others claimed they had transcended. Theories flooded the archives. Some spoke of parallel universes, others of hidden layers of creation where thought itself shaped reality. Then one quiet dawn over the Earth, the sky shimmered. Every telescope, every sensor recorded the same event, a ripple of starlight spreading across the heavens. The Pathfinder 1 had returned. It did not come from hyperspace nor through subspace lanes. It simply appeared, phasing into existence as if reality had welcomed it back. From its hull poured a soft harmonic glow that resonated with every sensor across the system. Raylan emerged from the vessel, silent, calm, changed. He addressed the command through a universal broadcast. We reached the threshold where space ends and meaning begins. We found that the universe is not a place but a song,